Hey, World Entertainment, and as you know, there is a movie coming out next year, next March I believe it is, that nobody is excited for, and everyone is now cringing, especially after seeing its trailer. We are of course talking about Disney's live-action Snow White remake, which stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. But by the way, before anyone wants to jump in and say we're excited and yada yada yada, this thing on YouTube at time of this recording has 7.2 million views on the official Disney Studios YouTube page with its 4.55 million subscribers. It has a whopping 73,000 upvotes to 905,000 downvotes. This thing almost has 1 million downvotes. So it's not exactly going to plan for Disney. Well, we already know how much people were pushing back against the likes of Rachel Zegler, not just because, let's face it, to start with, she's not exactly white like Snow White, but her attitude, just that insufferable attitude she's had. It's not 1930 anymore, she's not going to be saved by the prince. I was terrified of it, never watched it again. You know, it's the guy who's playing the prince, all of his scenes could get cut. It's Hollywood, baby. We remember all of that. And then she was clearly told to tone it down, and Disney obviously tried to do some damage control. Well, now they've run into one massive problem, and it is a massive problem. As we all know, there's something crazy happening over in the Middle East right now. And what do we have in this movie? Well, of course, we have Gal Gadot, who is Israeli. Well, Rachel Zegler just couldn't help herself, because she finally put out a tweet after the trailer dropped to thank people for watching the trailer, completely neglecting the ratios. But she wrote this on Twitter: "I love you all so much. Thank you for the love and for 120 million views on our trailer in just 24 hours. What a whirlwind. And I'm in the thick of rehearsals for Romeo and Juliet, so I'm going to get out of here. Bye for now." That's where you think she'd have left it. But oh no, not Rachel. No, she still has to stick her nose out there and be a nightmare for the PR team on this property. Because what does she follow it up with? She runs right back in and goes, "And always remember, free Palestine." Yeah. So she's fired out the free Palestine remark, knowing full well that her co-star in this movie is Israeli. Not just that, but here is where the massive problem comes in. You think that would be the massive problem. It's very political what she wrote compared to what Gina Carano wrote, and she got fired for hers. This also probably gives Gina ammunition for her court case, because she could present that and say, how come she was able to put that out and no consequences, and yet I was still fired, and her co-star is Israeli. The massive problem that this has now caused is you have pro-Palestinian supporters calling for a boycott of the movie because of Gal Gadot. However, you also now have pro-Israeli and Gal Gadot supporters calling for a boycott because Rachel Zegler is pro-Palestine. Good luck with this movie, Disney. Holy shit. We thought it was bad just with the fact that you cast Rachel Zegler and all the stupid crap she was out there saying. We also all remember the, if I'm going to wear an iconic dress for 18 hours a day, I deserve to be paid for every hour I'm in that dress. And that it's streamed online. We remember that. You had a nightmare with this girl. She is just toxic to PR by the looks of it. And now you have an absolute nightmare. And there's people that you can see. Now, I'm going to mark out their names and stuff because we're not having anyone go after them. But you can just see some of the replies that these people have gone on tirades for. So someone came in and said, at Gal Gadot, we love you. Someone named Tracy Ann Oberman, and who, I have no idea who that is, probably some actress or something, but this weirdo comes in and says, Tracy Ann Oberman invades the replies of rising star Rachel Zegler to display support for Zegler's co-star in the upcoming Snow White, who happens to be a Zionist and former IDF soldier, because Zegler used her platform to speak out for the Palestinian people. Yeah, it's crazy. You also had Zegler putting out this message on her Instagram saying, the fairest, by the way. Yeah, don't think so. And then you see this person reply saying Gail is the fairest, and she just got attacked. Look at all this crap that she just started getting. You mean the Zionist? Oh, so that's what makes her so beautiful? The fact she loves the Jewish state? You mean the fact that Gal Gadot is Jewish? You goddamn morons. Oh my god, like, these people are nuts. You had this guy firing back at Zegler, because Zegler is getting criticized as well over it by people. So this guy put in, Rachel Zegler's trolling her much more famous and beautiful Snow White co-star Gal Gadot. Disney continues to hire the wrong actors to represent their brand. Rather than promoting a film, they choose to embarrass themselves and the studio. Yeah. How could you be wrong with that? This person simply replied, what a sad, petty and arrogant person you are. And this is, by the way, is to her Free Palestine message. Yeah, this one, Gal Gadot has to pretend she's jealous of your looks. Her most difficult acting job so far. And yeah, you just see the two of them side by side and you're just like, yeah. It's going to be a short film if that mirror answers correctly. Who's the fairest one of them all? You. That's absolutely you. You've nothing to worry about. And roll credits. That should all be the movie. But now, what does Disney do? How do they combat this? Because the damage is now done. She's already put out the message of Free Palestine, and she's done it more than once. Now you have her fans attacking Gal Gadot, but you have Gal Gadot supporters firing back at Zegler, and each side are calling for a boycott of the movie. That's not exactly what Disney needs, and it all started because Zegler wrote Free Palestine. It's not because they looked and said, oh my god, Gal Gadot's Israeli, we should go on the attack straight away. No, it came specifically after Rachel Zegler put out the tweet saying, and remember, Free Palestine. And then of course you even get the nutballs and loons going in with the new footage from D23 of Zegler doing the interviews next to Gail, and she just looks like she doesn't want to be there, and everyone's like, oh look how much she hates Gail. She hates her. She hates being happened beside this Zionist, this Israeli state-loving IDF warrior, and gives it all this. And that's what's happening as well, you know. They're trying to paint this picture that they hate each other and that there's tons of tension behind the scenes, failing to realize that this movie was filmed over 2 years ago, well before the events that happened in the Middle East. So pop your brakes there, sons. But good God, what a nightmare for Disney to try and get around with this thing. She is poison to your films at this stage. She's never been in a movie that's been successful. She's never been in a movie that's made money. And now she just is a PR nightmare. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what the response is from Disney, because they're going to have to address this and what they're going to do and try and tell Zegler to calm down with this crap. But Zegler just can't help herself. And that's where it's interesting. So let's wait and see what else we get. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like, share, subscribe. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.